Today, we're going to talk about the intelligent experience. One of many questions is how AI, data, and design are rewriting digital commerce. It's a shift that we've taken from transactions to anticipation. Right? We're looking at platforms greater than patterns. This is relevant for both the Adobe version and the open source. We need to look at the fundamental differences of how every single system is learning before it's selling. We have to focus on what's happening in that experience loop, the clicks, the patterns, the prediction. The experience of economics has changed. The first transition of that we saw was Amazon going from books to products. That was the initial phase. And then afterwards, all of our businesses got involved. And we started looking at how can we sell online. Look at the bigs of the world, the Walmarts, that follow through with what Amazon did. And we looked for something without spending Amazon and Walmart money. We needed to add something with this information. We took the intelligence and the experience and we merged them together. The advantages of what happened when they operate together, and that architecture drives the outcome with your data. We look at that, we look at the design with empathy. This is what Magento does. It allows the open source and the economic commerce code to be merged together. We take this intelligence layer and I want to break it down for a second. You want to talk about the experience. And then we talk about the AI models, then we talk about the data. If you don't have those three pieces, you're losing your customers today. We have to look at unified content. That's that experience layer. We need that marketing team. We need the pizzazz. We need those images. We have to see those outcomes in millisecond level contents responses. We expect things in today's world as consumers to be mobile friendly first. We demand it. Now, in this room, humor me, how many of you have used AI today? That's almost everyone. What if we could sell inside of an AI component? What if you took your products and you sold it front and center in Gemini, in ChatGPT, Co-Pilot? What if you were part of that next ecosphere? That's where the AI models come in. But how do we do that? We need the data. How do we process that much data? Use AI again. Adobe's intelligent core, this is just an example of how my mind visualizes it, talks about that. They talk about the content wrapped into the insights, wrapped into commerce, wrapped into AI. We have sensing, AEP synergy, and the reassurance from the open source community that the architecture is replicable, with open tools. If we can replicate that, we can use the data lines. I can tell you for sure this slide does not look the same on my side. The whole point of this is talking about how the open source stack, Magento, Hugging-Base, LangChain, FinePro, they can all be merged together to democratize what's possible with the technology, using data contracts, product life cycles, and the safety and security around those governance so that the open intelligence community has its effective rights too. And we can control the content that we're displaying. In technology, when you democratize something, it means to take that tool or service that was once expensive, complicated, or only available to larger institutions And now we make it available to smaller businesses, individuals, or a wider market. That's exactly what we're doing. When we look at the discovery of how the core of UX is done in modern commerce, it's on the home page, it's not search, it's discovery. If we take static catalog and we assume the customer knows exactly what they want, they don't. If we take an adaptive discovery, something that reacts to signals in real time using something like AI, but clicks, scroll depth, facet changes, search refinement, frequency, you're going to get this platform of what's designed for discovery. We have to make sure that personalization is not a widget. It's not the login, click, login, hello, Steve. That's not what the customer wants. We need to see that the architectures of choice, that AI and metadata and facets and relationships and ranking, all of that are built into those pages. That is what the open source code has done. That is what Adobe is building on. And every interaction teaches the system something new. Show me more relevant next time I log in. Next time I visit the page. This discovery becomes a learning loop. It's not a layout. Merges through design for discovery are increasing session depth. We've seen it on our own site. Category exploration and assisted revenue is what's happening. If you've ever been to Philadelphia and you've ever visited a company called Wawa, it's a convenience marketplace that sells subs, hoagies, grinders, sandwiches. When you place the order on the kiosk, it never forgets to ask you about the Warren chocolate chip cookie. Ever. That's a static version of this. If it was connected to an end user experience, it would remember your last order. That's what we need to do for our customers online and more. What happens when you come up with that new best thing? How do you present to them? Do you go to your marketing person and send an email? No. We want it to learn so we can slate them in real time on the next page refresh or session. If your storefront isn't learning from the customer, it's making the customer do the work. And that's the last thing customers want. AI should make the customer feel more understood, not more automated. Awesome. Automation is great for the repetitive, predictable, or annoying tasks. Finding products, tracking orders, surfacing answers. But when the emotion, uncertainty, or nuances show up, the human wins every single time. Again, empathy isn't soft, it's strategic. It increases loyalty and lifetime of value and trust over your site and your content. We have to tell the customer when AI is answering them. We need to offer an easy escalation to the human being. We need to show the why behind the recommendation. AI should remove the grind so humans can deliver the moments that actually matter. AI can accelerate the journey, but people make it meaningful. Trust is a currency. Transparent value is a currency. Fairness is a currency. People will tell you time is the most valuable currency that they have. I would challenge that with attention is the most valuable currency. Given an unlimited amount of time, someone who gives you their attention is more valuable. If we can take this and convert that metric, that data integrity, into attention currency, we can then consent the customer to spending money on our websites where we want them to shop. Canada here is an ethical AI proving ground. Its strength, as Michael pointed out in his slide, is in diversity, bilingual identity, and privacy-first norms. When you pilot these small frameworks, small cohorts, and transparent trials, you do so in countries like Canada. The takeaway that I want you to understand is the intelligent commerce is not tied to any single platform, but it is very possible in our open source and Adobe's e-commerce. Commerce today is a mesh, one where OMS here, PIM there, search somewhere else, and AI must sit above it all. APIs are the bloodstream. Events flow in, decisions flow out. Intelligence runs where the customer is. Search, PDP, checkout. These are all examples of it. We have to encourage each other in the open source community to be problematic so that we're not doing rebuilds month after month after month. We don't want it to make it, we do not want to make the rebuilds monolithic each time. We don't want to wait for the perfect stack either. We have to get that minimal viable product to the customer using data, intelligence, and AI. You don't need Adobe to run intelligent commerce, but you do need the architecture. There's a shift. You have the PDP layouts, the change based on shopper intent. AI goes through, it renders the information, and adjusts it so that your category pages are not main, sub, primary, primary, sub, primary across the top as we're used to on the bottom or on the sides. What if the category pages could reorder themselves automatically based on what the customer last viewed or what you and your marketing team and its data want the customer to see first? Merchandising driven in real time signals without static rules. That's what we're looking for. That's the intelligence behind the e-commerce. This applies to Adobe Commerce, Magento open source, Shopify, headless builds, everywhere. Again, AI won't write the story for you, but it will help you design your pages so that your customer sees what you want them to see. Thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate it. I know we got a technical malfunction, but if you need to find me or would like to connect with me, simply my contact information is up there along with the QR code. Thanks, Jose.